Hello, everybody. Greetings, greetings, greetings from the beautiful city of New Orleans, Louisiana. I bring you greetings from the outside of the campus of the University of New Orleans, and just behind me is Lake Pontchartrain. There is water as far as the eye can see. When I first saw this, I was going across the bridge to Slidell, Louisiana from New Orleans, and I actually had a whole meltdown. New Orleans has been a very magical place, and I have definitely felt the presence of the ancestors and the sufferings and all that beautiful things. But I am coming on today to bring you guys into my little medicine bag. And this is not everything, but I brought some of the things, some of the regimens that I take. And I'm going to be talking faster this time. Normally I do really long videos, which I know I should be only doing like 5 minutes, but I'm long-winded and I want to say all I want to say and yada, yada, yada. But anyway, my name is Yahriel. I am a licensed massage therapist of 15 years. I am a level 2 Reiki practitioner. And in being a nationally licensed and certified massage therapist, there's a lot of nutrition information that you have to learn. So as I was sharing with an old Detroit friend, Brigitte, earlier on my Facebook page, in working to keep the immune system up, on a well day, I'm going to take 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C. So this is vitamin C with citrus bioflavonoids in it. Google it if you want to know what that means. I don't have a lot of time to get all into it. But different vitamin C's come with different things that helps it break down in your system slowly and periodically, so to speak. And when you do 3,000 milligrams, a lot of people suggest that you do 1,000 milligrams. But I can't remember where I got it from. I don't know if it was a nurse. I don't know if it was a documentary that I watched. But I've done 3,000 for almost 15 years now. And it's done nothing. From my understanding, if you take too much vitamin C, you're just going to pee it out. So you drink plenty of water with this. But even on a well day, when you don't have symptoms of anything, if you're constantly in contact with the public, working with children, anything of that nature, people around people, exchanging money, exchanging things, you want 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C. So these are 1,000 milligram pills. So I take 3 of them. If I get the 50 milligram pills, I'll take 6. So it's up to you. So I always look for these. Walmart shelves have been empty from vitamin C for the longest now, because they're emptying the shelves with everything like Lysol and stuff like that. So I literally had to go to Whole Foods, and I paid about $7 or $8 for this, but it's well worth it because vitamin C is your number one defense. If you cannot get it in a pill, you want to go with oranges, of course, and just do your research, Google it, any other kind of foods that would include vitamin C. All right, also in my medicine cabinet, and I'm talking about this because when we talk about the current pandemic, first of all, I don't like letting the word come out of my mouth. You all know what the word is. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say the type of disease that it is. But the key thing is that it is pretty much a flu or a common cold of sorts. And so therefore you want to work to keep your body up. And as you all know, if you're elderly or if you have pre-existing conditions, then you're more susceptible to that trying to come on you. But at the end of the day, this thing is airborne, and we can put on all of the mask and wipe down the little basket with the Purex when we go to Walmart and all this stuff here. But reality is this: it is happening. Oh, I left my soap. So I use a peppermint soap that it's called Bonner's peppermint soap. It's like maybe $7 for a little 20-ounce vial of it, 12-ounce vial. You only need just a drop, and it lathers very well. I like the peppermint because it has a nice scent to it. In the massage world, it breaks down the oils and the greases very well off of my hands. and it also has a tingling to it, a lot like a tea tree when you finish using it. But I use that kind of soap. Now, washing the hands, I was privileged to go on the live stream of another healer that I'm just meeting Sunday, and she was explaining that when you look at the disease under a microscope, you're going to see a little round circle and a lot of spikes coming out of that circle. Those are the crowns. That's why they call it what they call it, because of those crowns. Those crowns are what allows the disease to mutate. Mutate as in recreate itself, increase once or if it gets in your blood system. So when you wash your hands, the vigorous shaking of the hands, the rubbing them together vigorously and all around your hand and all of that, that's knocking that little crown off of, I'm not a scientist, so in other words, I'll call it a microbe. It knocks the crowns off, and that stops it from being able to mutate. So if and when it goes into your system after you've washed your hands, it now cannot recreate itself. It can't do anything but die under the power of things like your vitamin C. Also, I'm drinking lots of water. I drink at least one of these a day. I'm supposed to drink like 1.5 or 2. What you do is you take your body weight, you divide it in half, divide it by 2, and that's how many ounces of water you want to drink. Why do we drink bottled water? When you're getting bottled water, you want to at least drink spring water. You want to drink, this is artesian water, so it's untouched. It's coming from deep in the mountains. Good for you. There's also alkaline water. You want to drink alkaline because most of us are very acidic. Your pizzas, your pastas, your different sauces, different foods are all acidic. So alkaline water brings your body back into balance, okay? So definitely want to drink your water. And as you drink your water, it's going to also saturate your gut. Pretty much every disease known to mankind can be traced back to the gut. The gut are your intestines, large intestines, small intestines. So that means you have meat that's turned into fecal matter still in you from when you were a little girl. A lot of people, if you've never done any kind of colon cleanse or anything of that nature. So drinking the water is a good start. Squeezing a little bit of lemon into that water is going to start making the bowel start to move. If you can clean out that bile tract, that's going to be key in having good health, okay? Getting rid of disease. Now, when I was on that broadcast, I was listening to, well, let me show you, let me find, okay, one more thing. Colloidal silver. Now, I am not a doctor. I cannot diagnose. I am not prescribing this to anyone. Consult your physician, or definitely check your side effects for this stuff as I pull it out. Colloidal silver. This has been one of my mainstays. Back when I lived in Michigan outside of Detroit, I was, my boss had a strand of mono from when she was a little girl. She used to chew on bottle caps, and it gave her mono as a child. So from time to time, she would go through rounds of sickness, and bronchitis was one that she went through. This is when I worked for headquarters office for Domino's Pizza in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Well, when this boss called bronchitis, it's also airborne. It went around the office. I was in the accounting department, well, the royalties department for accounting for pizza. So I caught it. Somebody next to me caught it, and then somebody. So every other week, somebody was out with bronchitis. Well, for me, I looked up, and I think I maybe had bronchitis maybe 5 or 6 times that year. And if you know anything about bronchitis, that's the one where when you lay down at night, you cannot lay down without coughing. You gotta, it's like, yeah. And I was just so tired of coughing. My little sides were sore and everything from hurting my rib cage and stuff. So I went to a health food store, And just so happened that day I ran into a nurse that was working part-time at a mom and pop retail store. I mean, mom and pop, like one of those vitamin stores. And I said, can you please give me a substitute for antibiotics? I keep getting bronchitis. The doctor keeps giving me, pretty much the same, that Z-Pack, which don't work on me. Kept giving me a Z-Pack and some of the same antibiotics that were not working. She said, well, sweetheart, what's happening is through those prescribed antibiotics from your doctor, you have now gotten rid of all of the good bacteria in your intestines. There's the good bacteria and there's bad bacteria, and an antibiotic gets rid of all of it. So a probiotic is going to bring back the good and give you a healthy balance. So she put me on a regimen, or told me, she suggested a regimen of 30 to 60 days of acidophilus, and I don't have any of that to show. You can get it over the counter, but the best place to buy this stuff is Whole Foods, and you want to go to the refrigerated section over by the vitamins. You will find acidophilus. You'll find several kinds. You'll find vegan virgins, acidophilus for children, but you want to refrigerated ones of those pills. Start taking those pills, one in the morning on an empty stomach and one at night before you go to bed. Try and do a round of 30 days, but it's going to get you going, so much so until you may want to quit taking them, but it's up to you. But if you can start cleaning your colon, that's going to be a #1 winner with staying healthy and helping the immune system. With that, you want to take colloidal silver. Now, colloidal silver, listen to me, and I repeat, colloidal silver becomes toxic in the bloodstream after usage for 7 days. So remember what day you started taking it? Stop taking it after 7 days. It's known to turn people's skin green. It just becomes toxic. Toxic meaning not really, well, it's dangerous. Don't take it. It's it starts to poison your system. Let's put it that way. But colloidal silver, it really doesn't taste like anything. Kind of like water with something in it, But you're going to put these drops under your tongue. Lift your tongue, and this comes in a dropper. It also comes in a spray. It costs about $9 to $12 at Whole Foods. Colloidal silver. This has been my go-to for about 15 years now. Anytime I wake up with a scratchy throat or an itchy throat, I immediately go to colloidal silver, acidophilus. I make sure I start taking my vitamin C, because 365 days a year I don't take the vitamin C. The plan is to take it, but you kind of grow weary of taking them, or you run out of them and you need to buy some more, or whatever your excuse is. You just don't feel like taking it today, or I'm feeling well, I don't need it, all that kind of stuff. So I don't take them every day, but I make sure I jump on that regimen of 3,000 milligrams a day, colloidal silver, acidophilus. I drink my water. And this is my other go-to. Anytime you have upper respiratory is going to be that rattling in your chest. It's going to be hard to breathe. So you're having a hard time breathing. You want to get one of these. This thing costs about $9, $10 in Walmart. Walmart is my store. Shout out to my Aunt Faye, rest in peace. She used to call it Walmart. But this thing goes over the nose and the mouth, like so. Oh, that smells so good. I got a vapor up in there. Ooh, yes. So you breathe that in, and that's going to help open you up. What do I have inside? Well, let me show you what I have inside. Okay, 1 second. Bear with the darkness. Okay, I just took the lid off, and oh, my camera's not turned around. There is a, hold on. Oh, okay. My water looks a little brown because I got my tea. I used the tea instead. I don't know how to use this camera. Here, I'll just take it out and show it to you. This is colored because I poured tea on it. I had my peach tea and all of that, and I used it as hot water. But you want to fill it up with a little bit of hot water. This is a vapor refill. This is a Vicks vapor thing that you sit inside of it. This is almost like a humidifier, except for you don't plug it up. But this is very strong vapor. Vicks vapor rub. You put that in there. You put that in the and you fill it up with water. I also will get fancy schmancy, and I'll use, this is Himalayan salt. This is some pink Himalayan salt. I'll put a few dashes of that in there. I put a few drops of my colloidal silver in there, because this way I'm sending the colloidal silver into my lungs. So that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, saints and ain'ts, believers and doubters, all the same, critics and whoever, and those who love them some Yahriel, that is one of the ways to wellness. So you take it like this, put some hot water in it. When you inhale, that vapor ain't nothing to play with. It goes all up into down yonder. So it starts to clear the chest out. All right. The other thing is, if you don't have your vapor things, you can use this. This is the Dollar Tree version of Vicks Vapor Rub. Okay, chest rub. Get it from Dollar Tree. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Take this at night, rub it on your chest. That's the way it looks. You know, you should know how this looks. And if you're out of vapor patches, you can take a little dollop of it and put it inside of this bad boy here. And if you put some hot water on it, that's going to melt it down like it would some Crisco or something. That's about the texture it is. And there you have it. Breathe this in throughout the night. Take it up to the neck. Sometimes I put a little bit under my nose. And yeah, buddy, you about to get well. You about to get well. Okay, here's something else that's in my medicine bag. Tea tree oil. I think you can see it there. Tea tree oil. Now this, I am not a doctor. I cannot diagnose. Consult your physician before doing so. But this is one of the smarty pants things that I've learned to do over the years. Whenever I have an upper respiratory, when the cold is up here in my sinuses, maybe causing headaches, when the drainage is here, when I'm trying to breathe and it feels like I got cotton right there, I put some tea tree oil on a Q-tip, which I don't have in front of me to demonstrate. But I put tea tree oil on a Q-tip, and I go up into my nostril, and I try and stick against this hard part of the nostril. And as I press in, it's gonna burn like hell. Now be also ready. This ain't for the faint at heart. But I press and I take it up very slowly, because you don't want to puncture anything. This is a very, very sensitive area. But I take it up very slowly. And when you bring it back down, you're talking about some breathing. You will be able to breathe. And also, check out my videos on ear candling. If you can find some ear candles, you can watch my video. I did ear candling on Jeffrey. And it shows you how to do ear candles. So that's what I do with tea tree oil. What else do I have in my arsenal of goodies? Vitamin C, tea tree oil, colloidal silver. All right, this may be a little bit off the subject. You can't see the labeling because my bottle's pretty old, meaning I have not done this every day. But this is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll. This works as an agent to, number one, build the blood as well as cleanse the blood. So chlorophyll is really for people who are anemic. if you are constantly eating ice and you just absolutely cannot go without it, and every time you look up you need a blanket, you cold, you freezing cold, and when you go to the doctor he talking about giving you a blood transfusion because your blood count is too low and all that good stuff. If you're suffering with fibroid tumors, endometriosis, where you're getting a lot of female bleeding, your period is going way past 7 days, that means your blood is low. You need to be doing some shots of chlorophyll. What you want to see, when you got a good label, you can look on the label and it'll tell you how many. But I put about 18 to 30 drops in a nice big one of these in your water. You put it in your bottled water. If you're not going to drink that much water, you actually, when it comes to chlorophyll, I actually do chlorophyll in a very small, like a 12-ounce bottle, because I don't like, it's not that it has a bad taste. I think this one has like peppermint or something to it, but or is it mint? It has a mint flavoring to it. But I just don't like the way it tastes. I like my regular water. I just like water. But it's good. It works well. Use this if you want to build your blood. Chlorophyll. That's what you want. It comes in drops. And it'll turn your water green, almost black looking. Okay. Now. Bromelain. Bromelain is the main ingredient in pineapple. This is some pineapple tea that I found in Whole Foods. It's pineapple moringa. Moringa is a new viral fighting situation that I'm just now getting into, but it's been around for a while, so Google it. Whole Foods brand tea. These are just tea bags. I'm going to take one out and show it to you. This smells absolutely divine. This is a pineapple tea bag. The main ingredient found in pineapple is bromelain. This is the pill form of pineapple, or bromelain. Bromelain is great for if you have any kind of upper respiratory infection, any rattling in the chest. You want to hit it with some bromelain. Now, when it comes to how many pills that you take, just read the back of the thing. I usually do 1 to 3 because I've been on bromelain for some years. But when you first get it, just start off with 1 a day. Bromelain. It's going to work to help the chest, clear the chest, clear up any kind of bronchitis, infections. All right. Now, I was on a call on Sunday with a wonderful, wonderful healer. Her name was Ermine. And normally she says she gets at least about 35 people in her room. And on Sunday, there was only 2 of us in there, and I was one of the 2. So I had upfront first-class privy to this wonderful experienced dietitian, healer. My medicine bag just flew away. Hold the line. Hold the line. Got to get my bag before it falls in Lake Pontchartrain. It is so windy out here by the water. I love it. Sorry it's dark, you guys, but woo. I got off to a late start today. I've been meaning to come and make these videos, and you know, I'm starting to, against all odds, against all criticism, self-criticisms about myself, I still come out here and make these videos. So I'm doing it. There we go. All right. So I learned some wonderful, wonderful information from her. As many of you know, back April, it'll be 5 years this year, April 19th, 2015 was the day that I walked away from the church world and the institution of church and the doctrine as I know it. I would say I've come full circle, but I've actually elevated in my understanding and overstanding about Christianity as it relates to spiritualism. There are things in our DNA that calls out to us. Oops. I got drippage. I've been drinking my elixir. So on Sunday, Erlene was drinking an elixir, and she told us about creating our own elixir. So I filled up a empty Fiji bottle, I'm recycling, with my elixir. What's in my elixir? Well, along with my ancestor altar that's built, I have an ancestor altar. I have Bishop Charles Harrison Mason sitting front and center right now, and I am petitioning him to assist with all of this situation that's out here in the world today, and also with where I'm going altogether spiritually. And it's really been a blessing. There are things that I started doing by merely my giftings and my insight and my experiences. Your DNA starts to call out to you about your spiritual practices. But I didn't all the way know exactly why I was doing it. I knew that you're supposed to build an altar. You're supposed to lay a beautiful cloth if you can find something of theirs, or listen in your inner ear and find out what colors to do. I knew to put up pictures of the ancestors. I knew to light a candle so that they can see their way. I always use tea lights because they're the most they're the most safe ones to use because they burn out within themselves and not like a votive. I know to put their favorite things on there. Stuff like, for my grandmother, it's double mint gum and peppermints. For my mother, it's these stuffed animals that sing that you normally get around Valentine's Day and stuff. I have stuff for her. I have her picture out. And so you just put different things that you know they like and they love, and you come and you change the water and you pour libations. Well, this lady's actually written a book about pouring libations. And while she was talking Sunday, she started saying some stuff that was giving me a check in my spirit where my ears like perked up, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, could you repeat that, please? And it was a beautiful thing that it was only 2 of us online to listen. And so she talked about, as you change your water, as you change your food that you lay on your altar before the ancestors, then you also are as you feed them, you're feeding yourself. They are giving you a healing as well. So this is another spiritual talk, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time apologizing for it, because again, we're going into 5 years. Churches are now being closed down because this is going on. You're seeing fear and panic like never before, and you're seeing people be more concerned about money and members than the safety of their people. I feel more confident and affirmed now to talk even more because I'm seeing what 5 years of the spiritual practices that I've done have taken. When we talk about peace, I always say that peace is a practice. When you practice peace, when hard times come, then you don't have to worry about going into a frenzy because you've practiced it. It should be a well-flexed, well-built muscle that can withstand anything that's thrown at you. When I say we practice peace, what it means is that, yes, I'm hit with a lot of hard stuff. I'm hit with stuff that when I share it with people, I tell people about it, they get way more depressed than I am. I'm not depressed. But they get really overwhelmed and full of anxiety when they know my situation. What Holy Spirit has been teaching. Oh, look, there's a boat. Okay. But what Holy Spirit has been teaching me over these years on my exodus away from church doctrine and my grandmother's message that I've been brought up on is to get in line and get in practice with what I'm doing. So when things come my way, I'm more apt to remain calm and go through it and use my tools that I know to use and get over on the other side. And so I'm saying to you all, especially you blood-bought believers that know the way of Christ, you Holy Ghost filled folks. I done been in 7-day shut-ins. So this quarantine thing, it ain't really that big of a deal. But we know what it is to shut in. We know what it is to fast and pray. We know what it is to war in the spirit. We know what it is to declare. We know what it is to touch and agree. Call on the things of old that you know, because those things work. And when I say I've come full circle to appreciate those parts of it that work for me as well as for others. So, number one, as you're doing any and all of this and taking the pills and doing the regimens, one of the main things you want to do is fast your words. Watch what you say. Do not say that doggone sickness that they have declared over this United States. Don't say it no more. It ain't nothing but the flu. Period. When it comes to healing, you got to get ignorant about your healing. You got to get an attitude about your healing. It's like somebody walking up in your house clowning you, and you done decide, okay, they are not welcome in my home anymore. Don't bring him back over here. Don't bring her back over here. Tell her she can't come in my house. She can stand out there on the porch. She can stand out there in the yard till we bring her a plate if she came over for Christmas. But they're not welcome in this house. You know how some people take a stand like that against a person or a thing? You got to get like that about this pandemic. You have to say, I ain't got it. I ain't gonna get it. I don't know nobody that got it. And if I know them, they ain't gonna get it either. And I'm gonna see you this time next year. When you say something like that, it sets the precedence for how things are gonna go. When you hear somebody around talking, saying, I'm probably gonna die from it, I'm probably not gonna make it, this is what you say: cancel, cancel, cancel. You call that thing to naught. You don't have to get super duper Christian Coalition religious, but you say it immediately. Cancel, cancel, cancel. I shall live and not die. I'll see you this time next year. And then, matter of fact, you drag that person in. You're going to be just fine. I'll see you this time next year. You're going to make it. I don't care. What we're dealing with right now is people walking around with a lot of anxiety. So those of us who have practiced peace, those of us who have practiced some form of religion, whether it's Buddhism, whether it's, voodoo, whatever it is you have practiced and held on to that's been keeping you on a daily basis, you need to be putting that thing first and foremost out of your mouth right now and declaring your victory. For me, I'm a church girl. I come from the church world. I'll go straight back to the church music, because that's my foundation. I know how to wield that sword, and I'm recognized in the spirit realm. I got a little rank from these shut-ins I've been in and all these hands that have been laid on me. I have a lot of wonderful, beautiful impartations. I've sat under some very, 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 very great men and women of God. And so I'm recognized in the spirit world. And I say that because I've gone into places not going as the Christian, just going, and I've noticed how situations unfold and folks get to acting, or even I can sense different things in the spirit realm. They know you coming. They see you. They know who you are. And there's a hostility there because you come. I'm not going to go into all that. I'm talking about a whole nother story. But I've learned, and I believe this is the pattern that Bishop Mason was on back in the day, the founder of Church of God in Christ, which is the largest Pentecostal denomination in the world. He was a Congolese, meaning he was from the Congo, Africa. His grandmother was a root worker. He was also a root worker. I have a picture of him standing in front of a table of trinkets and different divination and conjure items that he used. That's how the miracle signs and wonders took place back in the day, that we see few, far, and in between. I believe, I almost went up in tongues right there. I have to be careful when I talk about him because he comes around, and it's one of those, I like to call it a weird type of anointing. It's heavy. It ain't nothing to play with. But I believe that there's going to be a blending of what we know in our root work. And that's our work with the herbs, work with the earth, work with common things that are actually medicines for the body, natural things that we'll need to do with our exercise, with our food intake, things we will need to eliminate. And that's another thing. Get rid of your dairy, get rid of your sugars, get rid of a lot of your snack foods. Do everything in moderation. I know it's easy to want to snack when you're sitting around the house, but your Oreo cookies are what's clogging this up and what's going to end up in here clogging your chest up. So you got to put some of that stuff down. Different cereals for the children, all those red dyes, that's what has them bouncing off the wall and you're tired of them. Give them some grapes, give them some fruit, some strawberry. We know this stuff, people. Speak the word and eat right. So on that phone call, she talked about an elixir. And she said to ask your ancestors or let your ancestors tell you what you need. So she confirmed what I was already into. I'd gone to Whole Foods the day before, and I bought my pineapple moringa. This is my tea. And then someone, shout out to Samantha, hey Ladybug, Samantha Falk, told me about this reishi mushroom. So I got the reishi mushroom tea. Now I want to go back and get the peel form of reishi mushroom. Reishi mushroom is known as something that fights viral infection in the blood. So this is a big immune booster. Very big. Reishi mushroom. Google it. Look it up. Do your own research. And always look up side effects on this stuff. Turmeric. And these are all teas that I'm showing you now. And I'm showing you what's inside of my elixir. An elixir means this is what I'm going to be taking every day. I already drank one of these. This is my second one, and I plan to finish it before midnight. All the teas that I'm showing you are inside of my elixir. And the last thing that the ancestors were telling me to add to this were my greens. Kale, spirulina, chlorella, spirulina, just greens. I'm going to post a picture of it on my Facebook later. There you go. Turmeric. This is a typical seasoning that you can get out of your cabinet over the counter. You can put some dashes of turmeric on your chicken noodle soup. I always do that. I add extra garlic, turmeric, a dash of cayenne pepper, or maybe some black pepper, which black pepper is really not good for you because it destroys the lining in your stomach. But I add that to chicken noodle soup. So turmeric, this turmeric has a little bit of cinnamon and honey and some other things in it. Mango ginger. Ginger is another wonderful thing that you can take. I often go to, it's in the vegetable section of Walmart, and you can find it in Whole Foods. They're little shots. They're about this big, but it's not in this kind of bottle. This is my lavender, by the way. Lavender calms you. For those of you who are experiencing insomnia, put a few drops of lavender on your pillow or on your pajama shirt right here and just go to bed. You only need a very small drop because essential oils are very strong and they have a very loud, overpowering smell sometimes, especially when you're not used to using them. So, for those of you who are experiencing insomnia, feel like you can't sleep, there you go. Do some lavender. There's also lavender tea that you can buy too. Chamomile tea. Chamomile, lavender. I'm drawing a blank, but there's another one that I want to name. But you can Google this stuff. Google this stuff. Ginger, I take shots of ginger and it burns. And I mean, when it goes down, it's very spicy and hot, but it clears you immediately. You can feel it going through your body, healing. So that's going to clean up your blood. This is mango, which is a fruity flavor that just gives ginger a nice taste. So I have some mango ginger tea. I have orange, cinnamon, and spice. This is all the stuff that's in my elixir. I have peppermint. Those of you who used to watch Chocolate Chip Gumbo, you always know peppermint is my favorite essential oil. I'm always sniffing peppermint. For those of you who have humidifiers, you can put a few drops of peppermint, a few drops of any of your mints. Spearmint is going to cause your colon to move now, so be careful with spearmint. But eucalyptus, camphor is another one. Anything in the wintergreen, anything in that mint family is good to put a couple of drops. Don't put a whole lot, because these cost, a little thing of lavender like this is probably going to cost you $5 or $6, if not $8 or $9. But no, take it back. This is a big bottle. This might be about 22. This size is going to be about 8 or 9. But they should last you for a long time, because you're only using a drop. So get a humidifier. When you're in Walmart, get that little thing where you put the tea light candle in and you put a little water in the top. Then you stop using all of that synthetic scented stuff that they have in Walmart. That's not what you want. You should be using oils. And so you can Google an oil for sleep or oil to calm you down. Or I'm going to start making some blends and selling them. And blessing them as well, along with crystals. So you can get that, let's see, potassium. This is good for the people who are dealing with any kind of blood issues, low blood, high blood pressure pills, or if you're following a certain diet, maybe if you're fasting, if you haven't been eating, especially if you've been avoiding meat. If you're waking up in the middle of the night, if you're getting any kind of cramps in your legs, I'm not a doctor, I cannot diagnose, but I suggest that you do some potassium. And I think it's a lot like vitamin C. You really can't overdo it. But any kind of Charlie horses, cramps in the legs at night, potassium is what's missing. If you are on high blood pressure medication, you're going to need potassium. All the stuff in my medicine bag. Let's see. B12. I'm not going to tell the story behind 12, but it's 12, not 12. This man my mom used to date named Bill. We used to call him Quinny Bill because he used to say $20 bills instead of 20. But B12. Get you some B12. This is for the anxious at heart. You need to be confessing and changing your language, changing your intake, what's going through your eyes, what's coming in your ears, what's coming out of your mouth. That has to do with anxiety. And some B12 will give you energy and calm your good behind down. So, is that everything? No. Ooh. I have some ginger peach. Ooh. They are falling out of the box. But that's my box. Now, if you don't go to Whole Foods, you can also go to like Ross's, TJ Maxx. DD's is like my favorite store. Burlington. Go back there where they have the gourmet food and stuff, and you'll find these real good teas for like $2.99. And you'll find some journals back there, really nice journals for $2.99. Get you some blank paper and write your affirmations like you write lines. I am well. I am well. My body is healed. God is on my side. God is taking care of me. I will be here on earth this time next year. Write that stuff out. I have the victory. I have the victory. I have the victory. I am calm. I am at peace. So, I guess I covered everything, y'all. Any questions, inbox me. Stay encouraged. There will be more videos to come. This is the beautiful Lake Pontchartrain. It is dark now. Very, very dark. But be well. Practice peace. Practice peace. Get your immune system up. Get your words up. Get your vibrations up. I posted some things on my page about some videos that I listen to at night to just get my spirit together. And it's just a meditation channel I have on YouTube. But it has different, what do they call them? Biorhythms and binaural beats. Binaural, B-I-N-A-U-R-A-L. Binaural beats that raise the vibration, that cater to each chakra. And lastly, I want to say this. When we're dealing with anxiety, we're dealing with stress, upper respiratory, that's going to all fall in heart chakra. As you can see today, I'm wearing a green stone. Okay? Because I'm working on the heart. So I have a lime green, it's almost yellow shirt on. Some green tights with a lot of green. I've been doing a lot of green lately. I have on green earrings. That's my stone. I forget the name of it, but it's working on the heart. There are many roads to healing, and it's okay to incorporate all of them. We don't have to be spooky. When it comes to root work and things of that nature, over the years, people have done so many foolish things, like trying to get control over a lover, somebody they're in love with, somebody's husband, somebody's wife. Maybe putting curses on people who got pregnant by their husband, put curse on the baby. That's not the kind of stuff I'm talking about when I talk about root work. I'm talking about this stuff, what I'm doing right here. I'm talking about writing your positions, setting up your altars for your ancestors, and just hearing in your spirit what to do, how to flow, the ebb and the flow. It's a new day, y'all. There's a shift coming. I've been saying it for the longest. You can go back and listen to any of my videos or chocolate chip gumbo shows. There's been a shift coming for a very long time, and we are in the middle of it right now. And so I pray I see you this time next year. Be well, and inbox me if you have any questions. I love you all. Stay woke and stay well. Bye-bye.